And this is the stunning move that Hikaru unleashes on Hans Niemann like a furious tsunami. Let's back it up. How did we get here? What's the result of the game? Who won Title Tuesday today, 21st of April? No Cagnus Malson. It's blown wide open. Power vacuum. Let's dive in. This is round 8. Hikaru goes knight f3. Does he want a draw? Well, no siree. Someone wins this game. It starts with a banana hammock over here. Bishop tucks in, seahorse on the board, and Hikaru fights back for the central space. Looks kind of normal, right? But after knight takes here, it's black setting up the big centre, and it's why white is actually a smidge worse already. If you try this stuff into here, no good, because black's going d5. So the move played in the game is knight takes on c6. I clearly just mouse slipped that, but we'll style it out. We're having fun today. Surely you recapture towards the centre. Well, playable, and you do get the big centre, but white goes c4 and bishop g5 and knight c3, and you start undermining the centre a la Grunfeld style, but with colours reversed. So instead, Niemann takes like this away from things, allows his king position to be ruined. I mean, these super grandmothers, do they really know what's going on, or are they just pretending? Breaking the rules left, right and centre, and here goes Hikaru again, making his own bishop a little bit stinky. He was critical of this move on stream because he kills his bishop's scope, and it's got to babysit a pawn. Black's now a bit better for sure. Knight c3 is played, king c7 tucks in, and pawn a3. Keeps an eye on this stuff, but it wasn't really that much of a threat. I mean, black wants to hold on to the bishops here long term, so not necessary. This is a powerful move. Stops bishop e3, natural development, so that's why Hikaru chases this one back. It drops off. Now he gets the development here, looking for knight c5, and the best moves are fighting against that. Pawn b6, knight d7, not played. Rook hd8, also natural. You could hop. Niemann doesn't do it. Sorry, Hikaru doesn't do it. He plays pawn h3, another little pawn push, covering all the hops, both sides. Now we see this knight drop back, natural. We get some 000 business to activate the rook. Pawn b5, and we see the tables really turning in Niemann's favour now, because he gains even more space. An armada of pawns avalanching down the board, and look at this for an absolutely stinky move. Knight b1. I mean, Dad's absolutely ashamed. Get back out there into the world, you massive loser. Knight b6 is on the board, headed for the promised land here, and so the pawn covers. Suddenly the knight's doing a good job, holding things together. The king might tuck in. a4's excellent from Hans. He's creeping up on being even about a pawn better now, positionally. King b2 takes his played. Pawn recaptures here, covering some important squares, and the bishop just drops off. We do get an exchange of cannons. Rook recaptures. The knight can now activate, which is why Hikaru took. There's less pressure on this pawn. Swinging back, not a bad move at all. But instead we get knight d7. Rook c1 x-rays the king. And again rook a8 is pretty nice, pretty natural. But king b7 is played. So natural to step off the line of the rook. Turns out it's a mistake, because this is the move on which Hikaru unleashes a double exclamation mark, sorry, I'm all over the shop. Can you guess the brilliancy he plays here? It's knight d5, just walloping that one down. Looks completely unreasonable, because can't the pawn just take? Well, yes, but now you extend the scope of the bishop, connected with the king on b7. So this bishop's attacked. Say you save it, well, this is the follow-up point. Check. King has to go, and then you pick up this bishop, and white's doing great. Black's completely losing here. so you cannot touch this knight. That's why the bishop just moves. Now there is a threat to genuinely take the knight, because takes, pawn takes, bishop moves, and you've not got d6 discovered check, winning a bishop, because of course that pawn's now blockaded. So that's why we see knight b4. Rook a8 very playable once more, but Niemann, the ambitious player he is, goes for instead pawn c5, aggression. Now you could leave that and play rook d1, target the bishop, but not Hikaru. He hops right back in to the newly weakened square. Rook a8 is now played, knight c3, probing, king covers, bishop f1, further probing. Niemann responds with the best move, the explosive c4, and before you can say, hey, Hikaru, please tell us why chess is a truly serious game that really ought to double in popularity over the next 12 months.
Now last night, in order to determine the colors, we actually did rock, paper, scissors, shoot. A-Wonder won the rock, paper, scissors, shoot game.
Today is a good day.
You heard it here first. He gains space. Now we see bishop c7, and this is actually my favourite move of the entire game. Imagine you're playing white here. What are you playing, right? I mean, let's take quick stock. Pieces look okay, but they're kind of tied down. Bishop e2 comes to my mind, but you can't play it yet. So maybe I'd start with h4, then bishop e2. Can you maybe push f4? Gain a bit of space. Bishop b6 is on the way, trading. This knight gets good. The best move, the only move to actually stay a bit better with white though, wouldn't occur to me. Hikaru finds it. a4. Now fair play if that one came to you. You're on your way to becoming a master grandmother. Honestly, that is not an easy move to find. The point is, pawn takes. You've just weakened the defense of this pawn. It's not about pushing the pawn with check. That's actually a bad move. You overextend it. This is the idea. You've just opened the rook and bishop to converge and attack. And it's why if takes, not played, this is the back cave, takes, black winning a pawn, then this is the follow-up. And when you back off here to stay with the loose bishop, which is eyeballed by the rook, you might think this, but actually the best move is this. And the bishops create this laser bind now. Big trouble for black, because rook c6 check is on the way. You know, if you try and put any minor piece on b6, white can trade, then go rook c6 check and win a piece. And there's many similar problems. The black king's in trouble, the rook's not participating properly. So therefore, you can't take. This was played as the best move. King a1, a nice try here to stay off the light squared diagonal. Hikaru does this though, not much between them. And now the best move, knight b6. White should take, knight takes, game goes on. But in the game, bishop b6, just the smallest of missteps, and white's much better after bishop takes on c4. This was played. Look at the transformation of the position. I mean, this is truly remarkable chess from Hikaru. He's suddenly winning. And when we consider it a minute ago, after bishop c7, look at that. White's tied up in knots. Black's going to just pressure, pressure, pressure. This is really impressive to bring it round to here. So the king steps off the rook line. Now we see king b3. Looks like you've left the pawn, and you have, and it pushes, and it's the best move, but Hikaru's got it under control. He checks simply. King has to back off, and now he wins the pawn. And between the knight and pawn, a wonderful barrier is formed. The Great Wall of Hikaru. Knight f6 is tried, pawn covered, knight h5, going for the newly created weakness. But anyway, king b3, ignoring it. Niemann doesn't yet take, decides to flick in the stinky f6, but check, king b7, another check, king back up, and b5. Really instructive play, showing how to make progress. Finally, the pawn is snapped off. Rook c6 check, king a5, king c4, and this king is in such a dreadful position now that Hikaru's got a very clean finish, starting with knight b7 check, king a4 forced, and now this move finishes the game. Because if you take, this is the move, and the pawn's unstoppable. King can't catch, knight can't catch, it just can't get in anywhere. If you step round here, well, you're completely covered anyway. It's lost. Where to go, really? There's nothing. You can't get round. Pawn goes, you get mated. So we saw resignation here. 46 moves. Great game by Hikaru. Where's the results? Do I have them ready? Yes, I do here. Nihal Sarin took it home. At first, it looked like the pawn took it on 72 points. But we did thankfully get that fixed. Server back online. Nihal does win it. Wesley in second. Arjun in third. Hans in fourth. Hikaru bringing up the rear of the top 10. 9th place. We even had a sneaky IM in there. Never heard of him. Good tournament from Vietnam. Hope you enjoyed this one. Do have a look at the video on screen for some more epic chess. And I hope to see you again soon. Cheers.